Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a Recon the Role-Playing Game advice video on skill choices. One of my friends recently asked me, he's living in North Carolina, and he's been asked to play in a Recon game. He asked me if I had any advice about the skills that he should take for his character. And I'm going to give him the same advice I give every new player in my game. Before I get into this, though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. Friends can still disagree. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, excuse me, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the one pictured here. It's a fun story about a house in New Orleans where the monsters all hang out. It's called The House Off Farrago Road. Yeah, it's, I grabbed a bunch of random mythological things and tossed them into a bucket and wrote a story about it. There you go. It's just for fun. I hope it's intended to be an enjoyable read. So there you go. And if that doesn't pique your fancy, I got a bunch of other stuff on my page. Check it out. Hope you find something you like. I hope you enjoy reading it. Here we go. Skill choices in Recon. Your skills are determined by your primary and secondary military occupational specialties, your MOSs. First, make sure you take the skills necessary for you to do your job. RTOs need radio skills. Pigmen need to be able to use an M60. Medics need medical skills. Intel specialists need language and intelligence skills. Grenadiers need to be able to use a grenade launcher, etc. Make sure you can do your job, because if you can't do your job, you're useless. Okay? That's the main thing. Second, you need as broad a range of weapon skills as possible. If you want to be a 99% capability with, or 98 or whatever, the best you can possibly be with a sniper rifle, amen, knock yourself out. But what happens if you lose your sniper rifle, run out of ammunition, or for whatever reason it gets broken or damaged or whatever, and you need to pick up something else and use it? You need as broad a range of weapon skills as possible. God forbid, as I said, God forbid you lose your weapon or run out of ammo. You need to be able to pick up and use whatever weapon is available. Okay, a good example of this was in the miniseries Band of Brothers, when the lieutenant parachuted in and lost his Garand, and they scavenged for him a German bolt-action Mauser. Yeah, it's... You never know what's going to happen in combat. So you want as many options as possible. You want to be able to adapt to any new situation. Weapon skills are the main thing there. Okay. Third. Third. You need as many survival skills as possible. Navigation, survival, locating food and fresh water all increase the survivability of your character. Suppose you get separated from your unit. Suppose you're captured and escape and you have the clothes on your back. Suppose the base is overrun and you have to run away with just your weapon. Okay? When the enemy is all around, using your weapon, unless it has a really good silencer, using your weapon is going to alert every bad guy in the area where you're at. Okay? You have to be able to survive without using your weapon. Okay? That's the main thing. So survivability, that's the third one. Fourth, you need to coordinate with other players for as broad a cross-section of skills as possible. If possible, more than one character needs to have medic skills, forward observer skills, radio skills, and language skills. These will all help you to survive. Okay. If possible, at least one character should be able to drive a tank, fly a helicopter, fly a plane, use a mortar, use a flamethrower, have demolition skills, drive a truck, etc. If you're being transported to the objective by helicopter and the pilot gets shot, somebody has to be able to take over that helicopter, or you're going down. They don't stay in the air long without a pilot. Okay. If you're in a truck and you're driving along and the enemy ambushes you and the driver gets hit, somebody has to be able to pull him out of the way and jump in there and drive the truck. Otherwise, you're stuck there. The bed of the truck becomes a fortress, and it's not a good fortress. This methodology will improve the survivability of the group as well as broaden the variety of missions that the group is capable of undertaking. For example, a job to blow up a bridge will be difficult without a demolition specialist. A mission to interrogate villagers will be difficult if nobody speaks the language. A mission to give medical aid to villagers will be difficult if nobody has medical skills. Now, generally, every group has a medic, every group has an intel guy, every group has a point man, every group has a grenadier, that kind of thing, generally. But if you're short of players, sometimes you don't have the specifics you need, and then the mission director will have to assign an NPC to fill that void. NPCs notoriously suck. Okay, they are oh my god bad. In all my years of playing this game, when I run a game, I try to have my NPCs at least, competent. They may not be great, but at least they're competent. Other mission directors, not so much. In all my years of playing this game, I have never had an NPC that could do their job worth a shit. And I mean that literally. They were crap. They were absolute crap. So yeah, you want everybody to have as much of a cross-section of skills as possible. Even if it's the bare minimum, you still have a shot to do it. I have seen 8 players make up characters and nobody chooses medic, RTO, or intel specialists. Yeah, that is a big, big problem. Coordination with your other players is the key. For my friend in North Carolina, I would suggest asking the group, what do you need? And then going with that. Because it doesn't matter what your MOS is, every character can be effective in combat. You just have to make them effective in combat. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I hope this helps. I hope this finds everybody well. And if anybody else has any more information, any different information, different advice, stick that in the comments. I'm sure we'd all love to read them. I am not perfect. I don't know everything. If I did, I'd write books on this. Oh, wait, they have books on them. It's called the Recon Roleplaying Game. But yeah, you need to be as capable as possible with your character. That's what it boils down to. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.